Suspension repairs are bread and butter service for most of your DIFM customers. These days, however, the recipe has changed. Today, the bread has changed from stamped steel to cast aluminum, and the butter is now thread-locking compounds and high-end greases. As a counter pro, it's good to have your finger on the pulse of what's happening on the shop floor, so you know exactly what your DIFM customers are up against. Here are 10 tips that your customers should be following when they're providing suspension service. Number 1, always look up the service information. Every OEM has its own inspection and replacement procedures for suspension components. Some recommend replacing a bushing only after measuring the deflection. Others base replacement recommendations on crack depth and length. Number 2, look for leaks. Some control arm bushings are hydraulic. They push fluid between chambers to control the movements of the bushing and absorb vibration. Since it's a glycol-based fluid, not oil, don't expect to see oil leaks and streaks. Number 3, use a torque wrench. Many aluminum control arms and knuckles can be damaged if the improper tightening method is used. Never over-torque a ball joint stud. The extra torque could break the stud and potentially damage the knuckle. Number 4, never use an impact wrench to install. Modern ball and socket joints on a suspension use a metal ball that is surrounded by a plastic sleeve in the socket. Spinning the stud with an impact wrench can cause heat and friction that can damage the new part because the grease is not evenly distributed. Number 5, look for ride height sensors. Even if a vehicle doesn't have an air ride system, it could have ride height sensors for headlights and active ride control. If there is a sensor, it might require calibration with a scan tool. Number 6, look for loaded options. Complete replacement control arms and suspension links can be a more economical replacement option over replacing just the bushings. Depending on the application, the labor saved at the press can offset the price of a complete control arm. Number 7, tighten the bushings when the suspension is loaded. Many bushings need to be tightened with the suspension loaded. Number 8, install alignment kits and cam bolts now. If your customer is installing a new bushing or control arm, you can first look to see if there's an alignment kit available. This little bit of extra effort now can save a lot of unnecessary labor when the vehicle is aligned later. Number 9, investigate the failure. Often, a rubber bushing will fail because of exposure to extreme heat or fluids from the engine or transmission. Remind your customer to look for the real cause of the failure. Number 10, bolt sealants. Many automakers use coated threads on fasteners that can help prevent corrosion. These steps may seem like basic information, but reminding your customers of their importance just might make you the best thing since sliced bread. Thanks for watching.